Hello students, welcome to the E-module on group processes. As you've progressed through the subject matter of social psychology this semester, you must have understood that all of us act within the context of social factors, where the presence of other people influence us in positive and negative ways. Some of the best and some of the worst aspects of human behavior occur in groups. We often hear of instances of mob violence, riots, crowding, which often result in death and destruction. At the same time, we see groups work effectively, perhaps behind the scenes of a stage or film production, or committees that brainstorm the most brilliant ideas and plans. To understand the processes which operate within a group, we must look at groups from the inside and from the outside. Externally, groups are influenced by various conditions, while internally, groups influence and are influenced by the group members. The question is, what processes within a group lead to good outcomes and what lead to bad outcomes? For example, your class of 50 students is given the task of organizing a farewell program for your seniors. This involves planning a theme for the program, deciding the logistics, and several other aspects which require a joint decision. How does this group reach this decision? For instance, maybe the class was divided on whether the theme should be fairy tales versus Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's say everybody is in favor of the Pirates of the Caribbean theme. What would be the outcome? Of course, what the group unanimously agrees to. Thus, the unanimity rule is in effect and the final decision is obvious. Now, what happens when the vote is split 20-30? In this case, the group majority needs to pay careful attention to the views of dissenting minorities and then arrive at a consensus. So what does this tell us? Every group operates according to decision rules. In turn, there are factors that affect the decision rules used by groups. Decision rules are rules about how a group should reach a decision. You can ask these two questions about what factors would influence group decision outcomes. What is the type of decision? A. If the decision is a matter of opinion, when there is no objectively correct opinion, as in the example given earlier, the decision rule would be majority wins. B. If the decision is a matter of fact, when one solution is correct and another is wrong, the decision rule would be truth wins. And what are the initial opinions of group members? Thus, by knowing the type of issue being discussed and the initial opinions of group members, one can predict the decision outcome well in advance. So, does this have consequences for the group's functioning? Yes. Firstly, strict rules such as decisions based on unanimity require more discussion than less stringent rules. Secondly, unanimous decisions are often hard to reach, often involve compromises, and sometimes result in a failure to reach a decision. But on the other hand, unanimous decisions result in greater satisfaction among members of the outcome than when a minority of members disagree with a group decision. So what can go wrong with decisions? Look at these instances. What if a few group members knew that the theme would not be feasible as it was the same theme that was used a few years back? What if the group decided to hire expensive costumes and spend money for mementos and other arrangements? Or if the group was extremely cautious about how much they could spend on the arrangements? These are what are referred to as biased use of information and group polarization. Let's examine them in detail. Biased use of information. When a group meets to discuss an issue, members often have different information about the topic and different points of view. In a group, team members have some shared information and some that is not shared. Look at this panel to understand a study by Winquist and Larson, 1998. The results of these and other studies are clear. Group members spend considerably more time discussing shared information than unshared information. This is called the common knowledge effect. Hence, in several instances, groups fail to take advantage of unshared information that may be particularly revealing or important. So, why does this bias occur? Firstly, it appears that group discussions proceed smoothly when everyone in the group can share and discuss common information. Group members who share common knowledge are often seen as more competent and knowledgeable by others in the group than by individuals who bring unique information. Secondly, you may recall the concept of confirmation bias, whereby people often seek out and prefer information that supports their initial beliefs. In group decision making, therefore, we may use group discussions to support rather than challenge our initial decisions. This helps us to maintain stability in our opinions and not have to change or revise them. So, to answer the first question, with regard to the theme for the farewell party, chances are that since everybody does not know that the same theme was used a few years back, they may not really share it, and hence this may lead to a bias in the way a decision is made. Let's examine another group process in the light of the question asked earlier. Would you decide to go ahead with the decision of hiring expensive costumes and spend money for mementos and other arrangements? Compare it. If you had to make this decision yourself versus making the same decision in a group, what do you think will be the outcome? Research in social psychology predicts that group discussion can lead individuals to make riskier decisions than they would make alone. This phenomenon is called risky shift. Doesn't this phenomenon seem contradictory to the notion that groups are generally conservative and not definitive about decision making? Hence, research shows that if the initial opinions of group members tend towards greater risk, group discussion results in a shift towards a greater risk. But do risky opinions lead to more riskier decisions? Yes, but the same applies to conservative opinions. If group members have conservative opinions to start with, the group decisions results in a shift towards more conservatism. This phenomenon is called group polarization, where groups often make more extreme decisions than do individuals alone. What are the explanations for this phenomenon? Firstly, as a group discusses an issue, the pros and cons are discussed in detail. Hence, three things happen. First, the more numerous and persuasive the arguments in favor of a position, the more likely group members are to adopt that position. Second, if group members are initially in favor of a particular decision and largely discuss their reasons for their initial opinions, people will hear more reasons in favor of their own opinion than against it. 3. Group decisions may encourage members to think about various arguments and to commit themselves more actively to a particular position. Hence, group polarization is often observed as members repeatedly express an idea and become more extreme and convinced about this perspective, and more convinced by the correctness of their opinions. Secondly, self-presentational and social comparison processes play a role in this phenomenon. Remember in earlier topics of social psychology on how people are concerned about positive self-images and a strong desire to be seen as bold, capable of risk-taking, and better than average. Hence, individuals tend towards riskier perspectives, and this could lead to the group as a whole adopting such a perspective. Lastly, social identity processes may be at work. A focus on one's group membership and the need to identify with the group. Hence, instead of focusing on the average opinion of the group, one might shift their opinions to a greater extreme, thinking that is the norm of the group. Just to make it less abstract, going back to our original example of the farewell program for your seniors, it is possible that you might think that everybody in the group wants to spend more money and have a lavish farewell party, and in the bargain, you convince yourself to adopt more extreme opinions in the context of the group. Do group discussions always lead to group polarization? The answer is no. When members of a group are more or less evenly split on an issue, discussion often leads to a compromise between the opposing views of the group members. This process is called depolarization. To get an idea of various studies on these two aspects of group processes, follow these links to understand them further. As you would have realized by now, group processes are quite complex, and group decisions are never quite as simple as a majority wins or the leader guides the decision of the team members. Hence, remember that groups need to be understood from within, and the group ultimately works like an individual unit when it comes to decision making. For a fascinating discussion of yet another social phenomena, see you next time.